Welcome back to our C# bootcamp. In this session, we're gonna cover advanced topic. Call it Delegate. One of the most important, advanced, essential feature in C#. Delegate gonna act as a function, that function pointer in C# actually. Okay, so that one gonna allow you to reference and call method dynamically. So what do I mean here? First, I have to identify what exactly a delegate to understand it. In C#, a delegate is essentially a reference type. This is first gonna be like a reference type that can hold the reference to a method. If you work it with C++, you're gonna understand what do I mean about function pointer. So the delegate gonna act as a pointer or a reference to a method with a matching signature. So we can say delegate, it's like a type safe function pointer, meaning that it's gonna hold a reference or a pointer to a method and it can invoke it. But here I would like to add that means the method must have the same parameter and return type as the delegate, which we're gonna see after some time in our example. So let me again define what exactly a delegate. Delegate, you can say it's like a contract, or any method assigned to it must conform to its defined signature. So for now, let's understand basically why I'm gonna use delegate. If you didn't get the whole picture, it's fine. We're gonna explain it again and again throughout this session. But we have 4 reasons actually to use delegate. The first one, dynamic method binding, which you're gonna decide at runtime which method to invoke. Something like, a calculator. We don't know which operation the user gonna use at the runtime. Second, the flexibility to pass the method as an argument to another method. And number 3, gonna be very important for our event handler, because delegate are as a function for event in .NET. And definitely, as you can see, delegate gonna be very important for call method in such a way to be like a loose coupling. So I would recommend to go to Visual Studio to demonstrate a very simple delegate example. Actually, we are defining a delegate outside of any class, as you can see. You're gonna say public delegate and the return type, which is gonna be void in our case, and the name of the delegate gonna be here greeting. And that one we can say we are defining a contract for a method, or we are defining a delegate for a method. But that method gonna accept a string parameter. And here we have a void return type. Please focus on those 2 points. Gonna accept string parameter and have a return type void. And that's exactly the type of other method. We have here inside our application only two methods. The first one is say hello and second one say goodbye. And both of them have the same return type as delegate, or we can call it a contract. We can say here contract. So we have here void, and void. And same exactly for the delegate. As well, we have here string for the parameter for both of them as exactly as a delegate. So inside the program, here inside our main, we have greet delegate, which are gonna reference different method dynamically. One time we are say greet equal greeter, the name of that class greeter, dot say hello, because we have here a static member as we discussed before. So we're gonna say greeter dot directly the name of the method. And inside this greet, we are passing the value of the parameter, which is Darwish. And again, we are assigning dynamically the value of Darwish with the say goodbye. Let me run this application. We are expecting you know, to say hello to Darwish and say goodbye to Darwish. So hello is coming from where? Hello is coming from the first method, and goodbye is coming from the second method. So we're gonna say here both of them are referred dynamically. So we can say delegate are idle for scenario where you want to call method dynamically. What about to go to step by step writing a program together for an operation for calculator? Very simple to understand the delegate step by step. First, I would define or declare a delegate. To do something like that, we're gonna type here together public, and then we're gonna say delegate keyword int, and we have here operation, which are gonna, any operation inside the calculator gonna be consist of two number. Second, we're gonna define our class, gonna be public class, let's give it a name, calculator, and that one gonna have inside it two static method, public static int add. As you can notice, we are defining the method to have the return type int exactly as delegate. Both of them are int, gonna be the same parameter. So we're gonna say here int a and b, and both of them, yeah, gonna return a plus b. And the second one, I'm gonna take that one as a copy and paste it here, and instead of add it will be, can call it subtract, and then instead of plus it's gonna be minus. So both of them gonna have int, and both of them have the same parameters as you can see. But what will happen inside the public class program, which you're gonna have the main? So let me speed up here. Gonna be public static void main, and have argument of string. It's okay. We have here some space, and here the first step we have operation. So we're gonna take that one like this and have an referrer, so it will be operation like that. Then let's go and create the delegate instance. To do something like that, we have here this operation. So how can I do something like that? We're gonna have operation equal calculator dot add. This is the first. Then we would like to invoke the delegate. So let me invoke the delegate here. How can I do something like that? It's gonna be straightforward. We're gonna say operation, that one gonna have any two number, maybe 10 and 20 for example, and both of them are gonna keep it in a variable, for example int result. Then let me print out that result. It should give me right now 30. Let me execute out this application, and here it worked. It gave me 30. Not only that, I can even change the method dynamically. After I did something like that, I can again take this one as a copy, and I'm gonna say okay, right now the delegate gonna be invoked with another one, and instead of dot add it's gonna be dot subtract. And if I'm gonna have the same operation, but this time I will take the result, and again I'm gonna print it again, as you can see. After that, and let me execute again. So one time it give me 30, which is gonna work with the add, and same it gonna give me minus 10, because 10 subtract from 20 is gonna be minus 10. So in that example, what we call it the operation delegate, we saw how the delegate gonna work dynamically and point to either add or subtract in a dynamic way. So Let's have, one more imagination for one use case, what we call it notification system. Basically, notification system, throughout this example, we're going to compare how to design the system with and without Delegate. I would like, to demonstrate for you why Delegate are a game changer. Then we're going to refine it to handle notification like SMS and, as you can see here, and email. So to know how to handle notifications dynamically. First, I would like to give you an overview about simple notification system without using Delegate. In this case, every notification method must be explicitly called. And that example gonna have a tight coupled design. Let's switch to Visual Studio and have a look from there. Let's have here a straightforward class, call it notification service, have just, a method, call it send email, and another method for sending an SMS, and another one, call it notify all, which you're gonna call both of them, send email and send SMS. And inside our main, we have an object which you're gonna call directly notify all. If you're gonna run this application, you should find both of them, email and SMS. So what's the problem with this application? The design here, while gonna work with this approach, the first one is not scalable or extendable. And as you can see, we can say notification service explicitly call send email and send SMS method. And as well, adding a new notification type. Yeah, for example, if you would like to add a new notification type like push notification on top of WhatsApp, that one is gonna require for me to modify the notify all, which is gonna violate the open closed principle. So that kind of design, what we call it, the tight coupling, which is gonna make your code less flexible and harder to maintain. So right now I would like to go and give more update to this code, and you're gonna see by yourself the power of Delegate. So now let's use a Delegate to dynamically handle notification. First, I would like to have here some more space by adding public delegate void, and we're gonna have here a delegate, we're gonna call it notify, and that one gonna have string message. So as you can see, send the message or send the email, send the SMS, both of them have a void return type, same as delegate, have void, void, void. That one have a single parameter string, single parameter string, single parameter string. And step number 2, we're gonna define the method that will handle the notification. In our case, we already have it, send the email and send the SMS. But I would recommend to put both of them in one class. So I'm gonna name it public class notification, and inside that one I would like to move here class this send the email and send the SMS, both of them I'm gonna move it inside this class. As well, I will update both of them to be static for the send the email and for the send the SMS. And both of them definitely still have the single parameter string, and both of them gonna return void. Same like delegate as we did before. Then let's go to step number 3, which basically is called create a notification service class, which what we already have it here. That service class gonna manage the delegate and provide a method to invoke all the assigned method dynamically. So to do so, first what we want to go for the delegate, what we have it here, notify, and inside the notification service we're gonna have a handler. So we're gonna say public notify, and then we can say notification handler, for example, like that. And I would like to use this notification handler here instead of calling explicitly the methods. I'm gonna use the notification handler, and I'm gonna say here dot invoke the message itself. So again here, notification handler, that one is what we call it a field or a type of notify. That one gonna hold a reference to a method assigned to a delegate. Then we have this method, what we call it notify all. This method gonna act to invoke or call all method assigned to the notification handler delegate. So the notification handler delegate gonna be responsible for invoke all the method. But Darwish, what's this question mark? This question mark, what we call it inside C#, null conditional operator. That one gonna ensure the program doesn't throw an exception if no method are assigned. And inside the main method, we should update this area. Actually, I would like to attach the notification method, send the email and send the SMS to the delegate. How can I do something like that? I would like to keep this part, notification service and service, because here we are creating the service. It's okay. And instead of gonna say service.notify all, no, we're gonna have here a little bit modification. We're gonna say service.notification handler, and that one let me have here plus equal notification, what we call it here, the class name. Let me have it here, notification dot send the email. That will be the first one, and I will take it as a copy, and the notification dot send SMS. It was here and like that. So what exactly the meaning of plus equal here? Plus equal here is just an operator to add method to the delegate. And as you can see, we added two methods to the delegate, send the email and send the SMS. Both of them are added to the delegate throughout the notification because both of them are just like static, and both of them are added to the delegate, what we call it notification handler. Then we are using notify all to call and execute all the method in the delegate chain. So what I expect if I run my application, I should see the same result. You have the new notification from the email and you have the new notification from the SMS. So here we are ensuring that notify all method are dynamically call all method assigned to the notification handler, whatever the methods are there. And to prove something like that, let me add one more method. We have here actually two. What about if we would like to push notification on top of WhatsApp? So all I would like to do is just like take a copy from this one and have here, instead of send the SMS, we can say push notification on WhatsApp, and then instead of SMS we can say WhatsApp notification, and then just scroll down and here add one more line for that, gonna be notification dot push notification on WhatsApp. And let me run the application again, and you can see here WhatsApp notification, you have a new notification. Here we saw adding a send notification on top of WhatsApp. It's just very simple. It defines the method and attach it to the notification handler just like that. And notification service class remain unchanged. So we kept the idea of open closed principle, or what we call it open for extension, closed for modification. So actually I have here 3 points as a key point to remember. Delegate, it's, we can say it makes something like decoupled logic, because notification service here, that one doesn't need to know about a specific notification method. We don't care how many methods you have over there. Besides that, second one, dynamic method assignment. Here, as you can see, you are always doing, new method can be added to the delegate at the runtime. And the number 3, we have scalability and mutability, because adding a new notification doesn't require modifying the existing code. Everything are the same. If I would like to add another one and another one, I don't want to do anything to the existing code. It's just like piece of cake, which is gonna reduce the risk of bug. Okay, delegates are incredibly powerful for building flexible and scalable system. In our notification system example, we saw how delegate enable dynamic method calling, making the system so extensible and easy to maintain. Thank you for watching this example, but I would like to recommend to try it by yourself. So before we're gonna wrap up, let's recap some key benefits of using delegate again. First, dynamic behavior, loose coupling, scalability, and event handling. See you in the next session.